Thanks to high pressure producing clear skies and light winds overnight, it is a cold start this morning across northern Scotland. Thanks for clicking on to the Wednesday edition of Vogan's European Outlook. Minus sixes across several locations in the north, minus 9 in Aboyne, and we may even be knocking on the door of minus 10 as I speak this morning in Braemar. Now, the coldest temperature of the entire winter was minus 10.2 Celsius recorded in Braemar. We may be knocking on the door of that this morning. So, pretty chilly stuff. But very different story across more southern portions of the British Isles here. See plus figures across southern Scotland. But looking across Northern Ireland, the Republic, England and Wales, we've even got tens and elevens across, or well, tens actually, across Cornwall here this morning. So the reason why we're seeing some pretty mild conditions this morning across southern portions of the British Isles is thanks to an area of low pressure that is bringing cloud and rain as well as increased wind across southern portions of the UK, and that is going to progress northwards through the course of today here as we go forward. It looks as if the far north of Scotland is going to maintain the drier, brighter and sunnier weather through most of daylight hours before eventually the weather moves into even northern areas. It's all thanks to that area of low pressure moving north and merging with a frontal system coming in from the west. Lots of high pressure over the mainland of Europe, as you can see here. And as we press through the week, it looks as if the rest of the week, should I say, it looks as if we are going to see a lingering area of low pressure across northern portions of the British Isles here as we go forward. Cooler air in place, actually producing some snow, primarily over hilly areas, but may even get some colder air mixing down even towards sea level here through the course of Saturday here. So what we're going to see is we're going to see a bit of a battleground setting up across the British Isles as we go from the weekend and into next week here. High pressure building quite firmly over Scandinavia, and what we're going to see is we're going to get this kind of tug of war effect. High pressure over Europe trying to push cold westwards. We've got Atlantic weather trying to push eastwards, and the UK is going to find itself in the battleground, so to speak here. Notice here an area of low pressure just the west of the UK deflects this low southwards here, which is quite interesting. Things are changing here. The pattern has changed. We don't have the same type of setup as we did when we had one named storm after another moving in into the UK here. We do still have an active an active Atlantic flow. There's no question about that. We've still got the trough over the North Atlantic, but higher pressure kind of migrating further north into Scandinavia is creating a different picture altogether, because we've got essentially over Europe the winds coming around the underside of that area of high pressure. We've still got the Atlantic trying to push in as well. We may even increase the potential for some snow as we go forward here. But this is Sunday. High pressure and control, like I say. We've got a pretty cold area of high pressure as well with that setup here as we go forward. And look at the Atlantic here to the west. We're seeing those frontal systems trying to push in, but it's coming up against the resistance of this very strong area of high pressure, if you notice, over the far west of Russia. I don't even like to mention the name at the moment, given the circumstances, but we do have that area of high pressure over far eastern Europe, and we're seeing the transport of very cold air coming in underneath that area of high pressure towards the UK here. And then, like I say, that really sets the battle zone between Atlantic and cold continental in the early and middle portion of next week here. So the modelling is going to come and go, I think, with this. How much does the Atlantic influence? How much does the continent influence? But it's setting the stage for something rather interesting and something we haven't seen, folks, in a long time indeed. But you can see here that almost the Atlantic is trying to gang up on the UK, trying to push against that area of high pressure. It's at 1041 millibars, so it's a pretty formidable area of high pressure, but a very interesting setup that's for sure. You can see these little undercutting areas of low pressure to try to push up and against that area of high pressure here. And the UK really sits between the battle zones here at low pressure over the Atlantic, high pressure over the continent. And it's going to remain, I think, colder than normal. Underneath this setup here, if the GFS is correct, there is pretty cold air in place, and that is something we just simply haven't seen in quite some time across the UK here. So you can see off the GFS ensemble run here, this is the upcoming 5-day period. There's the area of high pressure centered between, really between Iceland and Scandinavia. We've got the trough underneath here, and then as I play through the 5-day increments here, you notice here that the area of high pressure kind of focuses over Scandinavia, and of course we've got the Atlantic trying to come in from the west. We've got cold air coming in underneath the high from the east, and really setting the stage for some very interesting things, that's for sure, as we go forward here. And you can see here as I play through the loop of the 2-meter temperature anomalies here, you can see here what's going on. So the upcoming 5-day period here looks like this. But notice here as I play through the period here, colder than normal looks as if it is going to be the mainstay. Now the modelling, the GFS ensemble does see that the milder conditions over the mainland of Europe here, but that remains to be seen as we go forward here. But certainly interesting times to come, I think. I know it is late in the season now, but it is going to create some interesting times, and I do encourage you to try and stay right here on YouTube and keep up to date with the very latest. Hope you have a great day. Bye for now.